The Shark Deck.
I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Let's start on Gossip Corner today just because it's fun. Nick Kroll spotted taking a photo with the chef at Heritage Food and Drink in Wappingers Falls last week. Then on Friday, Nick Kroll seen taking photos with fans at Terrapin in Rhinebeck, New York. Meanwhile, in West Palm Beach, Pete Davidson was at Bud's Chicken and Seafood on the Dixie Highway. That happened on Sunday. Nikki Glaser went to see Taylor Swift and told the New York Times, "This year I decided not to freeze my eggs. I'm going to put that money towards the thing I love the most in the world, which is Taylor Swift." Glaser's been to at least 8 shows and estimated she'd spent $25,000 on tickets and associated costs. I saw Taylor on Memorial Day weekend. Fantastic. I'm not sure too much is new here, but AM New York took another look at the New York Comedy Festival's schedule. It's a strong lineup, so let's take another look. David Tell, Bill Burr, Nicole Byer, Jimmy Carr, Margaret Cho, Tim Dillon, The Giggly Squad, Alana Glazer, Brett Goldstein, Nate Jackson, Anthony Jeselnik, Mateo Lane, Sam Morrell, Nick Mullen and Adam Friedland, Atsuko at Kotska, Pod Meets World, Donnell Rawlings, Jeff Ross, Robin Shaw, Daniel Sloss, Michelle Wolf. Pretty good. This is in November. Sam said, "I always wanted to play for the Knicks growing up, but around 7, 8 years old, I realized I had a better physique for a comedian. I worked hard, developed a drinking problem, and here I am playing the world's most famous arena." That is a funny line. Bill Burr said, "I got passed at the comic strip in 1996. The thrill of being a working comic in New York City's never worn off. To be able to perform at MSG is beyond any dream I've ever had." Here's a lineup I'll fly through it. Friday, November 3rd, Daniel Sloss at Town Hall, Jeff Ross at The Venue at Hard Rock Hotel, Alana Glazer at BAM, Sam at the Garden. Well, the theater at the Garden's slightly different, Sam. Sunday, Jeff Ross again and Robin Shaw at Town Hall. Wednesday, the 8th, Margaret Cho at Town Hall, Nick Mullen and Adam Friedland live at Town Hall. Thursday the 9th, Donnell Rawlings at the Hard Rock, Jimmy Carr at Carnegie Hall, Giggly Squad at the Beacon Theater, Nate Jackson, doesn't say where Nate is playing. Friday, Donnell Rawlings at the Hard Rock, Brett Goldstein, the Beacon, Anthony Jeselnik at Carnegie Hall, Michelle Wolf, Town Hall, Bill Burr at the actual Madison Square Garden, you know, the big one where the Knicks play, not the theater. Nicole Byer at the Apollo, Attell at Town Hall, Tim Dillon, Carnegie Hall. Wow, that's amazing to me. I love Tim's podcast. And again, he's eventually going to step on a landmine, and I am going to deny I ever said he'd like this podcast. I will be the first one going, "Tim Dillon, he's terrible." But in the meantime, it's kind of fun. Can't believe Tim's playing Carnegie Hall. It's amazing. Saturday the 11th, Atsuko at Town Hall, Donnell at the Hard Rock again, Mateo Lane at Carnegie Hall, New York Comedy NYComedyFestival.com for your information. Brody Stevens Day coming up on the 18th. Brody passed away a few years ago, and comedians remember him every year on 818. This year, a show benefits Comedy Gives Back. Listen to this lineup: Marc Maron, Dane Cook, Jeff Garlin, the Sklar Brothers, Dean Delray, Craig Gass, and more. Fantastic. I saw a press release from Cellphone Company that can afford to pay for the ad. Jim Gaffigan will star in the ad for Cellphone Company. The Cellphone Company has recently released new discounted family plans, which Jim Gaffigan, kind of plays into with his whole family dad kind of thing he's been doing lately. A suit at the Cellphone Company said, "Jim's comedy and work ethic embodies who our customer is: observant, hardworking, a little bit skeptical, and something that might seem too good to be true, and loves to talk about their family. But ironically, Jim has been known not to call people back who help him early in his career. Maybe he had the wrong cell phone plan." Oh, now it all makes sense. If only Jim had been with this cell phone company, he would have returned some calls to a satellite radio company that had helped him a lot in the early aughts. No? Yes? Hi, Jim. In a statement, Jim Gaffigan said, "Cellphone Company makes life easier and simpler for people with large families like mine, or people with lots of friends who feel like family, or, people who help my career. I could call them back too. The commercials we made inside a large chain store were hilarious. Working with Cellphone Company was fun, and joining them on a campaign that helps people save more money is the cherry on top." Call us back, Jim. A podcast review was left. This from Big D Johnson. I cleaned up your name a little bit, sir. But thank you very much for the 5-star review. The headline, YMH Fan Daily Comedy News. The description follows the YMH extended family of podcasts as well as other comedy news of merit. This podcast is just what I need to make sure I don't miss anything. Thank you for listening. Meanwhile, on the YouTube page, by the way, do me a favor. This is super easy. Next time you're on YouTube, type in Daily Comedy News. Hit subscribe. I don't need you to listen. You're clearly listening to this sentence right now. So I don't need you to listen on YouTube, but I want to get to 1,000 subscribers because then I can monetize over there a little bit and pay for some coffees, which we'll talk about in a second. Jax Littles commented that, so the other day I was riffing about Michael Yeoh's tour, I think it was, and I said something along the lines of Ontario, the one in Canada, and Jax called timed out and went, Ontario, CA is probably Ontario, California, where there's a pretty good improv. And I went back and looked, and Michael Yeoh is playing the Ontario Improv in California. So that's what I get for riffing. Thank you, Jax, for pointing that out. If anyone enjoys what I do here, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. Now, today's a Wednesday, and it's the summertime, so Johnny Mac's playing beach volleyball, right? No, the league, I'm so mad at the league. There's no August league. They stopped at the end of July, and they're like, you guys want to play beach volleyball in September? I'm like, no, I want to play in the summer. That's the whole point of beach volleyball. So I have a free night. I'll probably wind up at trivia. So I'll be there with Glenn. You've heard me mention Glenn on the podcast before. So if you want to buy me a beer or buy Glenn a beer or 5/7 of a beer, throw $5 in the tip jar. I'll take your $5. I'll head over to the brewery. I'll play some trivia and I'll buy Glenn 5/7 of a beer. I'll pay for the other $2. Go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. It's yesterday, Nick Griffin's special, Absolutely Wonderful, has premiered on the 800-Pound Gorilla YouTube channel. Today, Dan Harmon's new show, Strange Planet, comes out on Apple TV. You know Dan Harmon from Community and Rick and Morty, so we got to at least check that one out, right? And tomorrow on the 800-Pound Gorilla YouTube channel, Ben Roy's special Hyena debuts. Bill Maher was on with Kevin Hart. Maher said, look, if you do a show like Kimmel or Fallon, great guys, great shows, but you have to be very careful. We're not going to throw F-bombs around there. That's why he likes podcasts. And he says his audience, they're not a politically correct crowd. They're my people. They want to see me do what I do, and I want to do it for them. They don't want me to be in any way pulling punches. NBC all of a sudden on Monday announced that the first 3 episodes of season 1 of Killing It, the Craig Robinson show that's on Peacock that you didn't watch because nobody has Peacock. I actually have Peacock now. I got like one of those $1 for the next 60 years deals, and I still don't use it. I'm sorry, Peacock. I don't know what it is. It might be your interface. I don't know. Anyway, the first few episodes are now available to watch for free on YouTube and TikTok. Interesting. So if you're bored, you got a couple specials you can watch, plus Killing It. Not bad. And that's your comedy news for today. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. You're going to go to YouTube, right? And you're going to find subscribe. You're going to click it and then go about your business. See you tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Mark Francis and host of a new podcast, The Messi Effect. Join us as we take you into the exciting new world of Argentine soccer phenomenon, Lionel Messi. And his new life at Inter Miami will bring you into the glitz, the glamour, the star-studded events, along with the exciting journey to a new world of U.S. soccer and international football with news and stories 3 times a week. Come along for the ride as Messi, Miami, and Major League Soccer experience the journey of a lifetime. Get the Messi Effect wherever you get your podcasts.